I want to take you back to last season and Spurs' run to the Champions League final. The pre-match press conferences of Pochettino, the Spurs coach, were great. He usually had a smile on his face and he was fun. He was good to listen to, but he's not as fun this season, Craig Burley. Is he feeling the pressure?
He's not as fun, and he got more done in this transfer window than he did last transfer window, where he got nothing done. He got a fit Lucas Moura back. It was like signing a new player, but he didn't get any signings. This year he did. He got, in particular in Burley was the big signing coming into the middle of the park. All the moans about players going to go and contracts. Vertonghen's still there. Alderweireld didn't go. You can talk about how if they're unhappy or not, which it doesn't seem they're unhappy. And Eriksen didn't go. And in that run to the Champions League final, which was a great story, their league form wasn't actually that good. And, he's not... I think there's a lot of... And obviously the league form isn't great in the start of the season, and there's almost a little bit of empathy there. I see some Arsenal fans actually changing the subject, but Arsenal-Tottenham, the
rivalry.
That rivalry. They're saying, well, hold on, we're getting battered, and Unai Emery gets a lot of stick, and, Tottenham are not really winning things, but yet this guy has been painted as the next best manager, so we'll find out, because he's certainly got a bit of managing to do over the next few weeks.
I know there's an article on ESPNFC and they're kind of comparing him and his misery at times to Mourinho, which I think is a bit harsh.
No, he's got a bit to go.
One thing I want to have a look at is their away form. Now, I can actually feel sorry for Pochettino and for Spurs here, because at Leicester, what are they? A couple of centimetres away from probably winning if Son's onside, but VAR chalks it off and they go and lose. But
so you're the sympathy guy.
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sympathetic for that one. However, on the whole this season and stretching back to January, their away form's been nothing short of atrocious. Why is that?
It's difficult. I mean, he's chopping and changing his team a little bit. They're maybe a little soft on the road. They got a great result in Ajax, don't forget, in that Champions League, which was fantastic. Didn't play particularly well in the summer, and maybe he's got to look at his decision making as well. We talk about all the good things that he's done, but this is a guy who bowed to some public pressure and played Harry Kane in the final against Liverpool. Now, as a former player that Pochettino is, it was absolutely crackers to think that a guy can come back in with so little match practice and training and play in a cup final, a Champions League final, and leave Lucas Moura on the bench, the guy who was flying.
He'd help get them there.
Look, you got very good fit players, and you got very good unfit players, and that was a very poor decision, and that showed me a little bit of weakness in his management in making that decision. Now he's got to put up behind him this, well, Eriksen's not very happy, and it's not a very happy camp. Some players want to leave. Every club, a player wants to leave. You go to Man City and Liverpool and they're not all happy.
If they're not playing, they're not happy.
They're not playing, you're not happy. And you've got to rotate and manage players. And so he's got to pick himself up. He's got a decent run in the league.
Yes.
Southampton, he's got Brighton.
A lot of them are at home.
He's got Watford, a couple of them at home. I think the Brighton game's away. These are winnable games. In between that, he's got Bayern Munich, which I believe is at home. Now, if they don't get their finger out, they could go to town on them. So it's a big month for Pochettino. And I for one, am looking at the results and analysing Tottenham, and I want to see how he reacts to come through a little bit of adversity that he's having at the moment. He's been through it before, and he's come through it. He's going to have to do it again.
I just want to end by the way I kind of started talking about the Champions League run. After that, in the summer, after that Champions League final, Klopp, Pochettino were the two best things in management. It just shows you how quickly in football things can change now, because...
Well, where did Guardiola go? Was he just outed?
Yeah.
Oh, he used to become because they were flavour of the month.
Of course, flavour of the month as opposed to put the best manager. No one was saying a bad thing about them, and now, less than 3-4 months later, people are saying, well, what about Pochettino? They're talking about Max Allegri maybe going to Spurs. The point I'm making is that things can change quickly in football.
Very quickly, and listen, they're not going to a Champions League final this year again, and they're not going to win the title in England. In fact, they'll be lucky to be hanging in there, because Liverpool and City are a cut above the rest. So there's two competitions straight away that were key for them last year, because they hung in for a while in the title race, for a little while, and obviously they got to the Champions League final. But that's unlikely to happen on both those occasions this year. So then you're already out the Carabao Cup, as unimportant as it might be to Tottenham fans or Tottenham players or the club. It's a competition that they could have won. That leaves the FA Cup. that leaves, and potentially a Europa League if they drop into that, or if they don't go out, wherever they go in the Champions League, it won't be all the way. That's going to pile the pressure back onto the league form. Are they good enough to go on a run? Of course they are. But he's got to solve the little issues that they have within their team at the moment, and one of those is knowing his best team, and I'm not quite sure he knows what his best 11 is at the moment, and he's chopping and changing most weeks.
One of the other issues he's got is he hasn't won away from home in the league since the 20th of January. Better put that right, and soon.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.